Alrighty. So we are gonna say hello to the people watching the VODs on the YouTube channel. Hello.
Hello.
I have all the VODs rendered already. They will be getting uploaded this week. Don't worry.
Taking you long enough.
Oh
God,
my lord, I
can't
know.
believe you.
Kept you
I
waiting,
feel like my friends.
Yes. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing what we do all the time. So somebody roll me a d4 to give me a summary of what happened last week.
D4 to begin.
Alrighty. And Rexmoa rolled a 1, so that is Taurin. Would you mind giving us a summary of what happened last time, please?
Thank God I can continue eating.
I ate a whole lot of red dye 40, so I apologize for what happens in this playthrough.
Yes.
Somehow I could see Kipper doing that.
Yeah, well, it was Candy that was very aggressively high in red dye 40. That also happens to be my craving for today.
Oh, speaking of, don't forget to join Greenie's stream. She is the DJ.
I forgot. You ready, Port?
Quartz did say that she had some family over, so she may be stepping away randomly.
Okay.
So if Quartz doesn't answer, then we may have to roll again.
Or I can just flip the table and do Bip's very, very minimalized.
Well, if you want to.
Last time we went to a party. Thank you.
Okay, well.
No. Okay, so we went to a party. We had to get through the gate. We all managed to get through pretty okay. The guard was mildly suspicious, I think, of either Rexmoa or Taurin, but Kipper was just like, I am suddenly more charismatic than I used to be. And then got in fine. And from that point, we all pretty much split up in different places. Of course, Dishonor was on the outside with, oh no.
I refuse to believe you forgot the name, Vib.
No, the problem is I do this with people in real life that I've known for multiple years, so it's not just this person.
Oh no.
Rin. I was confusing Rin and Chi for a moment.
How does Rexmoa remember better than you?
Well, because Rexmoa just has whatever Rexmoa has in game is what I have in real life. Okay. So Dishonor. Oh dang, Ambrose. Yeah. This is what Red Dye 40 does to you. It melts your brain. Remember, everybody, it's a byproduct from titanium mining. Remember that. Oh, where was I? Okay, so Ambrose went off with Rin. I just forgot again. Dishonor, do you want to take over?
Oh my lord, no, Dishonor takes over every time, my friend.
Split it up.
Oh my lord.
Okay,
what do you remember?
I can keep going. So it's not that I can't remember, it's that my brain keeps doing tangents. So Ambrose went off with Rin to go searching through like the underbelly of the city, like the sewers and the drainage systems and stuff, trying to get to, I think, somewhere underneath the factory. And then Kipper, Rexmoa, and Taurin are all at the party, and we all split up. Kipper tries to go over to a guy and talk to him, get any information out of him, and he was literally only polite. He was only polite, and no information was gotten, and it was very unfortunate. But he made a friend, potentially. and then Rexmoa and Taurin also split up. Did you guys go together or did you go separately?
They all split up,
We-
yes.
Yeah, we went separately, and we may find each other, but as of now, we might be in two different places.
Okay. Do you want to explain what you were doing?
Is it because you can't remember, or are you just asking me?
Remember you
Legit
split
question.
up, and then I went to use the bathroom.
Okay, so Rexmoa, funny enough, used the opportunity while the hosts of the party were giving a speech to sneak out to the bathroom, where he used his invisibility potion that he snuck in and started to crawl inside the vents to get to the upper levels of the estate. And so far, he's using his spectral hawk in combination with him being on the inside to try to navigate his way to this office. And Taurin wandered into it was like a broom closet of sorts, where she was trying to take herself as a mouse alongside her rodent companion, I believe. And they're trying to find their way to the upper floors as well. And she found out that you can awaken automatons through noise, which is good to know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
There you go.
And what did Kipper do?
Wait, what did Kipper do?
Well, I'll just give my explanation.
Okay.
It was pretty funny because, like, my friend asked me what happened in the session, and I was like, oh, we're sneaking around because Taurin is a druid and can wild shapeshift. And I just took an invisibility potion, and Kipper's just stuck in the ballroom because he's a cleric.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's just stuck in there talking to someone who may or may not die when something terrible happens at the party. He's 2 days from retirement, you know?
The guard is he retires the
Yeah,
next
the
day
wife
and
of
has
Jordan.
27 kids, and he will also be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. Least bribable guard of the year.
Yes. Very good, very
If
good,
you
very
were
good.
speaking, you were muted.
Yes.
If that's the reason why you're not speaking.
Oh, were you guys talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, hold on one moment. My roommate just came back from Florida.
Oh, it's all good. It's
Okay.
all good.
That's fine. And I
Sorry,
believe-
Johnny.
So the items that everyone who went to the party could only bring a certain amount of items, which is 1 weapon and then 3, miscellaneous things.
Mm-hmm.
Taurin bought her dagger, the mouse that she bribed with the promise of cheese, her staff of defense, and 1 mana potion. I bought my owl mask for sneaking around, my staff of defense, an invisibility potion, and the 2 leftover sapphires that I have from my little potion excursion. And then Kipper bought in the smelling salts, his bag of tricks, 1 sack of flour, and a vial of antivenom.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that we have on our person while in the party, but we don't have access to like our grander
If we
inventory.
get in a fight, I'm throwing flour in people's eyes.
Good, good, good. Yeah, that's
know-
almost what happened. There is also the part of the sewers, which since technically
Yes.
only Ambrose was there. Dishonor, would you mind explaining that one?
You will explain
Uh,
it very well.
So while the party was occurring, Rin and Ambrose spent a little bit of time waiting until it was properly dark and the party would be fully distracting everyone that was around. And when we had left, it was pretty easy to get to the sewers, as most people were, in fact, not really paying attention. They were too focused on the grandeur of the party that Alabaster and Aaron put together. And going into the sewers, as always, the sewers seemed pretty normal. But then, as we got closer and closer to House Thrail and the factory, it was getting more and more mechanical and almost like a modern look to it. And then soon enough, we'd also come across an area where dozens upon dozens of automaton parts, the scraps of them, and what remains of them were tossed into the sewer. In some cases, enough of a buildup where it was kind of difficult to like walk around and move. Eventually, Rin and Ambrose began to hear voices. Well, mainly Rin, because Ambrose's perception is not very good. But going closer to the noise, we managed to come across a small area that Rin happened to recognize. An area that she had been once before with Echoes. And deciding that since it was obviously shadow druids, there's no need for us to care for them or be gentle with them, we decided to try and fell them as fast as possible. And we managed to kill one, but it was soon enough that... Sorry, there's knocking. Sorry. Soon enough, though, as we were getting ready to deal with the other shadow druids, Rin had come closer to this kind of like, almost like a dam-like amount of automatons and straps. And there, as she was fighting one of the shadow druids, one of the automatons happened to grab her and simply told her to run. It was very much so a broken down piece of automaton, only having a chest, a single arm, and its head. And yet, the way it spoke, it seemed to have been familiar with Rin. And with it saying, "Don't be stubborn, you need to leave," Rin realized that it was actually Echoes. And following this, as we continued to try and defeat the shadow druids, one managing to escape, coming out from one of the rooms in the sewers was the counselor. And he decided to attempt to... he surrendered with the shadow druids, saying that we are to let him go. After all, if we were to kill the other shadow druids, it would cause us more issues with one of them having escaped. And when Ambrose asked him, he asked him if he was Jahan or Olivia, the deceased saints of Porch Trail. The counselor stayed silent, instead continuing to ask for Ambrose and Rin's mercy. And the two did decide eventually to let them leave, with Ambrose kind of finalizing the idea that he believes that the counselor should be saved as well, and how he's a paladin of Vithius. And as the counselor left, he looked back at the party of Rin and Ambrose and set down a single scroll, and then ran.
Correct. That is what happened in
I will be right back.
the sewers. Correct. So, at this point, we're going to return to the party upstairs, where some of the players are trying to sneak inside and trying to find things. Kipper, alongside Lady Borealis and Lady Zephyr, and of course Percival, are in the ballroom in the main event. Rexmoa has an invisibility potion going on, and he's trying to sneak towards the office that he once scouted with his familiar. And Taurin is also trying to go to another side of the manor using her shape-shifting abilities. It has not been easy. There has been some challenges on the way of both of them. But so far they are safe. Except for the one time that Taurin got spotted, but we'll see what happens with that. So as this is all going on, Kipper, you were pretty much talking to people around the food table, getting some food for yourself. Are you doing something else?
Oh, while I'm like walking around and chatting to people, or
No, remember that you kind of just went to the food like stand table and just kind of try to talk to whoever was around there, and then there you stayed.
well, actually, I went there and I chatted at the food table, and then I left to talk to Lady Borealis.
Correct.
And
you saw how House Thrail, the Lord of House Thrail, almost kind of catches you, but Borealis kind of helped you. Just,
yeah, she kind of helped tuck me away. I don't. So as Kipper, I don't fully know what I'm doing. So Kipper's and also knowing that Borealis doesn't want me too near her, Kipper's going to distance himself and try and take a different point of view. And maybe, can I roll for perception or investigation check to see if there's anything suspicious that pops
was
out in my brain?
actually exactly what I was going to ask you. You can do investigation if you like, or you can try and do perception. That would be up to you.
Perception.
Okay. All right. With that perception, you start looking around. As I said, the party to you is very boring, pretty much. It's like people are just mingling, just kind of talking. There's nothing going on, really. So you start looking from side to side, trying to spot anything. Your companions are most likely just exploring the house and trying to find some other clues. And you are there because, as you mentioned yourself, Kipper doesn't know what to do. As you are looking around, you catch a glance of the noble houses. You know that they were talking here and there. You see, obviously, Borealis, Zephyr, kind of talking to the other nobles. And you manage to see how, a couple of the nobles, specifically Selvin and the other nobles that are hosting the party, House Erin and House Alabaster, Selvin just kind of pulls them away a little bit, and he whispers some. Obviously, with all the sounds and you being pretty much almost at the other side of the room, you're not able to hear what they're saying. However, you notice how the other two, the human and tiefling, just kind of nod and agree with him. And then you see them apologize to Borealis, and of course, they just start leaving to the stairs once again. The stairs that lead up onto the upper side of the manor, all three of them. They seem to be like, as you see them leave, they're all like, oh my god, like people are trying to keep them there, and they're telling them like, hey, I'll be right back. You can understand this from like they're being like, oh my god, kind of wait around and stuff.
Can I follow them?
You can try. I will say, remember this, at this point, you would be in, as I said, you are in the ballroom. You can try and follow them, but chances of stealth will be very low since they are going to, first of all, the upper side of the manor, and you would have to like go through all the people.
Well, I could go. If I at least see where they went, I can.
Okay. So you're just kind of waiting for them to move, and then you're gonna try and follow after them.
Yeah, like
right.
I'm not trying to be like right on their butt. I'm gonna do it in kind of a casual, lackadaisic way.
Okay. With that perception, I can tell you that you see them going to the stairs. You know that they came out of one set of stairs. If I told you there are 2 sets of stairs, one for each side of the manor. They came from one set of stairs, and then after they were mingling and talking around, they were moving around the ballroom and everything. You see them go up the other set of stairs, and Kipper, you would also know that the set of stairs that they take, and eventually they go up to I forgot the name of the place. Dishonor, I believe you told me last game, but I totally forgot.
Don't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't. It's fine. But then they take the entrance inside of the manor. Kipper, you would know that this is the side of the manor, the wing of the manor that your friends have moved into.
Oh, they're going into the wing that they are in?
Correct.
Okay.
You know
that's
that
advantageous.
you know that Rexmoa went down to the bathroom and he has not come back. And you know that Taurin eventually just kind of disappeared below the stairs. As to where they are right now, you have no idea. The mezzanine, thank you, Dishonor. That's the part that I was talking about. So what are you doing? Are you waiting and then trying to make your way up there, or how are you going about this?
So yeah, what I said. Slowly, methodically. There's no need for me to like, they're going up and I'm like jumping up the mezzanine and I'm like trying to get there quickly and pushing through the crowd. No, I'm just gonna casually make my way. I'm probably going to grab a glass as I go and a little bit of food to make it seem almost like...
Okay, so you're trying to sell it, correct? You're trying to
Yeah.
sell the... I want you to give me a performance check to see how well you are able to keep your, nonchalant, sneaky appearance.
Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Big money, big... Oh!
Oh, okay. So, Kipper...
Not a whammy to be found.
Yeah, exactly. So, Kipper, you take a deep breath. Your ears are still low. You're trying to hide the fact that obviously you are a Herringon, because, people may notice if you have a lot of features like the hero supports trail. So, you catch a glance of what they're doing. And then you're like, oh, okay, this is not good. Let's start moving. So you slowly start walking around. You make it as if you were patrolling. You grab a glass of, probably like a cocktail or some wine that they may have around. And eventually, with you trying to be as, not sneakily, but as he said, nonchalant about it as possible, you manage to get yourself towards the stair. You go up the stair and you just kind of walking around. You notice that up on the mezzanine, there's a few guards that are still looking and guarding. So with your big performance, you get in there, you kind of assume the position of like guarding as well. And then after a few more minutes, you just kind of like move around as they move away from them, as you sneakily get inside the hallway where the 3 nobles have entered. As I said, this would be after they were gone. So, you would not see them in this hallway. But you definitely know they went there. You kind of took your time and waited a little bit and,
So they're not in this hallway,
Mm-hmm.
but I can assume I go further into the hallway. I have a better chance of potentially listening out for them to
Correct.
see what potential direction they went.
You are going to just follow along the hallway. The hallway, by the way, it is what you would expect from a fancy house. Big, empty hallway, lots of paintings, and a few doors here and there. that would lead onto, the corners of the manor and into some other areas. Oh yeah, the drawings are still there. That's fine.
We can kill the UFO, maybe.
Okay, let me remove the drawings. Okay. Yeah, as he said, it's what you would expect. The place is empty. It's not really well lit up because everything is going towards the party area. So these areas are supposed to be off limits. So you know how you keep lights out of places where people shouldn't be in. But you can hear, as a matter of fact, I will give you this because you have big ears. You would be able to hear the footsteps of the nobles as they head further and further deep into the hallway.
Okay, I will just follow the sound of their footsteps.
All right.
In a sneaky way.
All right, first of all, give me a stealth check, and then we'll see what happens. Okay,
I'm still not in heavy armor though.
No, you're in medium armor. You just roll normally, no disadvantage. You can tick off your armor if on your items you still have like your plate, I believe.
Yeah.
You can just tick the checkbox and it will remove it from your thingy.
Let's see. Explore scale mail.
There you go. If you tick it off, it would remove it. Yeah, perfect. I can see it now. Now roll your stealth. Okay.
I should have gone with my first one.
Okay. After this, I'm going to tell you what happens as you stealth behind. But we're going to move over to Rexmoa now. Rexmoa, you are invisible still. The area of the manor where you are in had some of the help of the cleaners, the maids walking about, just helping out on some things. You were able to avoid a few of them, and you almost got caught once. But luckily for you, your reflexes were faster, and you were able to avoid any sort of, I guess, capture, maybe, I don't know. You are invisible. Nobody can see you. However, whatever actions outside of what you're wearing or what you have in your hand, well, not in your hand, sorry, what you're wearing as you took the invisibility potions will be visible. Like what happened with the curtain last session, that you opened it and somebody noticed. So, So as you move along the hallways, you turn the corner to see again more of the same hallways with rooms and doors. You see some of them being open as maids go from one to another. A cart of like dirty laundry just passes by as maids are just kind of cleaning up things. They're taking the chance to do so while the party is happening. So like, at nighttime when everybody is looking for a room or just like trying to find a place to sleep, they don't have anything dirty in the house. How are you going to proceed? If you recall, you know that the area that you're looking for is in the upper floor, and the stairs are at the end of this hallway with some people moving around this place. As I said, there's people actively going in and out of rooms, pushing carts around, and
How long is this hallway? Well, like, would it be a pretty difficult endeavor if I just wanted to, just like work my way from one side to the other?
You can 100% do it. I will say it would be fairly complicated. It is a decently long hallway. And as I said, you have to dodge some obstacles in the way. You are invisible. Nobody will be able to see you. But again, depending on your rolls, you may be leaving evidence that something is happening, Well, you can be like walking around, not sneakily, because as I said, nobody can see you. You may have to be careful with bumping onto things and, just trying to not raise any suspicion.
What are the side rooms? You said they were doing laundry.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about like if I could cause a distraction in the side room or not, and like it would catch their attention.
As you're walking around, like trying to get a little bit closer to kind of catch a glance, I want you to give me an investigation check, Rexmoa.
Okay, investigation. I'm surprised I'm not better at this.
Okay. With that investigation, you can see pretty much the time where the maid opens the door and then it closes by itself, or like they close them. You can see that inside of most of these rooms, there are proper bedrooms, like equipped for handling hosts, like not hosts, sorry, handling people. You cannot see what there is inside of each of them, because it's like for you it was kind of like, oh, they opened it, they closed it, but you are able to see the usual fancier looking bed and whatever your eyes may be able to glance off this bedroom. But from the information that you can see, they are just that, bedrooms.
Okay.
And they are the maids, by the way. I can give you this because of the investigation. They're pulling out like old blankets and putting new ones, and like cleaning pillowcases and all of that.
Okay. Interesting. There's nothing really like how you say stand out about these bed sheets, right? They're not like covered in blood or anything.
With the investigation, you would have to get closer to like the laundry cart that they have pushing around. It's like a big, cart of sheets. You would have to get closer, which will prompt some other potential issues.
I think I'm gonna try to cause like a distraction by waiting until perhaps like one of the maids goes inside a bedroom to retrieve the sheets, and then just like push a laundry cart down the hall, like somewhat like quickly, not like hard enough to like injure anyone, but like
right. So like make it like make it like roll off until the end of the hallway, kind of on its own. All right, I want you to give me. What can we roll for this? You're not really trying to perform. Well, you kind of are, but you kind of not. So I would say roll me a stealth check, just to see how well you're able to pull off this without any issue.
Yes, and I would be getting a +2 on this.
Mhm.
One because of the armor and one because of the mask.
Correct. All right, that's a 19. Ooh, that's very good. So Rexmoa, you stand there in the corner, just looking and seeing the pattern of the maids going in and out. You notice how much they take on each room. It's like a couple of minutes each. And you see the first one, okay, I take the time. The second one, okay, I take the time. By the time that the cart is like around the middle of this hallway, like the center of the length of the hallway, you've already mapped down that it takes them a couple of minutes per room. They work very fast. However, in this time, you wait until they enter the next set of rooms. For all purposes, I would say that there is 2 maids, one that goes to one side of the rooms and one that goes to another. The hallway has, doors on each side. So, as soon as the maid opens the door and closes them, you spring into action. You slowly move towards the cart, kind of taking the time in your head, memorizing the amount of time. And just as they are about to come out, like you hear the door, like the doorknob turn, you push the cart. You push it hard enough that it will roll off on its own. Obviously not hard enough to make a big sound or try to, get unwanted attention, but hard enough so it would roll off onto the end of the hallway, and you hear a thump as the cart just kind of hits the corner wall. As this happens, obviously the maids open the doors and they're like, whoa. And one of them looks at the other and goes, oh, did you put the brakes on that thing? What happened? They're like, oh, that was kind of weird. And they let me roll for something real quick. Okay. All right. And they just kind of like go like, oh, I don't know. And one of them starts heading towards the cart. The other one is just kind of standing there, and they're just looking around, kind of like from side to side of the hallway. You know, they haven't noticed you because obviously their eyes kind of dart past you and they don't see anything. However, one of them is slightly more alert than the other.
Does the alert one? No. Do they just like look like a regular, yeah, maid servant?
They look like a regular human maid servant lady.
Okay. Well, while they're at least one of them is like fully distracted.
Yeah. The one just goes over to the end of the hallway to grab the cart. So, for all intents and purposes, for a little bit, we would say that she is distracted.
Okay, well, if those are the two main people you described in the hallway, yeah, I'll just take the opportunity to try to like sneak past and hopefully just like get away from the one who's more alert. Because since I'm invisible, as long as I don't do anything too obvious, like they really shouldn't notice anything if I'm just walking down the hallway.
Correct. I want you to roll me a D100, just cause.
I don't like the sound of that.
Okay. Rexmoa, you stealth past as well. You don't really need to stealth. You just kind of need to be careful as you're walking. Do you turn your back away from the maids, or do you walk like, back away from them? Backing away always with them on your side.
Would there be any other, I guess, like dangers to my stealth between me and the stairs?
No,
if there are, I would face the staircase. Hall. Yeah. If they're not, I would face the maids and try to just like probably like walk closer to the wall and like not in the middle of the hallway and just make sure that they don't try to like alert anyone.
All right. So as you are looking at the maids and trying to back away slowly, you know that the hallway is all pretty much empty. Slowly starting to back away until you're almost closer to the stairway, and then you turn around to start going up the stairway. As you turn around, Rexmoa, you hear the sound of something coming up the stair, like coming down the stairs. You hear a little thunk, and then a little robotic sound, then thunk, and then robotic sound, then thunk. But you were able to spot it fast enough that you just kind of move out of the way, and what you see is just a simple cleaner robot with like a little kind of like those like spiral broom thingies that just kind of sweeps. And they're just kind of going down the stairs to start cleaning on the floor. But as I mentioned, the D100 was a little bit of a chance, and you were able to spot it fast enough, so you just kind of move out of the way. And you are free to continue roaming onto the second floor. The second floor, again, it is empty now, besides the robot that you just saw going down. Same kind of deal. This time, the rooms are much like a lot less. And the doors of these rooms look a lot fancier. So, Rexmoa, you would be able to kind of discern that these are probably like the main rooms. Again, you see a hallway goes and bends into a corner and then continues over to the side of the manor.
All right. Is this hallway as crowded as the last one?
No, as I said, this one looks completely empty. No maids, no nothing. You can probably tell, and I can probably tell you this because of the robot and everything. The maids were already on that floor, and they're just kind of now on this floor. So you're just kind of seeing how they went from upstairs to now downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to pay much mind to the bedrooms, since I know that this is a a time-sensitive opportunity, so I'm just gonna quickly make my way across the hall and try to find another staircase to get to the 3rd floor, which is my goal.
Okay. As you run through the stairway towards the 3rd floor, you turn the corner, and again, the rooms are much sparse on this hallway. You turn the corner, and at the end of this hallway, you hear and see how Selvin Thrail and the lords of House Alabaster and House Aaron are just kind of walking upstairs, going up to the 3rd floor. They are, by the way, they are very quiet as they're doing this. Like, you can hear the walking, you can hear them like shuffling about, but they're not speaking to each other. Like, they are dead silent.
Okay. I think if I can, I would try to get like a little closer to them, but not like too close. Probably like maybe like 10 or so feet away from them, just in case, because I don't really know if.
So
like,
kind of just waiting for them to go up a flight of stairs, then you kind of get closer. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and like I'll listen to see if they say anything to indicate that like someone might be upstairs.
Rexmoa, as you get closer to the stairs, as they're going up to the 3rd floor, you hear another set of footsteps, a little bit behind them, and eventually you manage to see Kipper slowly going up the stairs as well, just kind of looking about, as he is also trailing these same people.
Oh god.
You are invisible. By all means, Kipper, you cannot see Rexmoa. You cannot feel him. He is also hidden. He has not given away his position whatsoever. So, Kipper, for all intents and purposes, you're just trailing the nobles and following along where they're going to the 3rd floor.
So how did my roll, what happened because of my roll?
So, because of your roll, Kipper, I will say you start walking onto the 2nd floor hallway as you were following the Saints. Not the Saints. Why do I have the Saints in my freaking head? It's not the Saints, the nobles. You're following the nobles. And as you see them turn the corner, obviously, and then you follow them slowly. You're trying to be as quiet as possible. You peek through the corner, seeing them move a little bit further. And then you continue your pursuit as you see them almost reach like the other side of the hallway where the stairway to the 3rd floor would be. And while doing so, Kipper, as you kind of round the corner, you are getting ready to like move forward, and your shoe kind of slips through the very polished floor, making one of those like little sounds, like screechy sounds of a very new shoe on a very polished floor. And as you do this, the nobles stop, and they were conversing at this point, Kipper. They stop and they get quiet. That's the point where they get like dead silent, and they just continue moving. They look back. Kipper, you are able to pull yourself, like keep peeking through this corner and not arouse any suspicion. However, Kipper, I will say the nobles have been alerted now.
Ding. I should have just said, yeah, previous roll, because that was a fine roll. That was a good roll.
Yes. And again, you go up to the 3rd floor, and Rexmoa, eventually you will stumble upon Kipper going up behind the nobles. And with that, we're gonna move over to Taurin. Taurin, you were hiding in what seems to be a supply closet. I don't know if Taurin is here. We'll have to wait and see. Are you here, Taurin? You are muted. If not, we can just kind of... Oh, she is. Okay. Sorry. I just, because I know you had to step away randomly, so, you know. I wanted to make sure. Good. So, Taurin, you are pretty much in what seems to be a supply closet. You see cleaning products and some other cleaning utensils. And what you saw was an automaton that seemed to be off. But now, when you try to climb as a little mouse to get a vantage point to the automaton, you knocked down a broom, and the sound alerted the robot. It turned itself on to check around, but you are fast enough to be able to hide yourself from the detection of this robot. And you waited for a moment. The blue light of the robot inspecting the room, you waited for a moment until the robot just kind of returns to its previous position and turns itself off again. And then everything goes quiet. The broom, by the way, has been returned to its position by the robot itself. So now the robot you know that the robot could activate by sound. And you are still hiding in the supply closet as a little mouse. What are you going to do?
Well, is there a way that she can scurry over to the door? And is it large enough for her to kind of poke her head out to, look around the hall to see where she's at?
Yeah, you are a mouse, so you can easily do that. It's not difficult for you. As I said, mice can't do that. I've seen that with my own eyes. So, I will say though, I want you to give me a little bit of either athletics or acrobatics, because you are inside of the cleaning supplies, to see if you knock something down. Whatever you want to give me, just either athletics or acrobatics. Okay. With that, I can say that you did bump onto a couple bottles of thingies, but the bottles are heavy enough that they do not topple over. So you do not make any sound to alert the robot that is in there. And you go down, get to the door, and then just kind of poke your head through. You're a mouse, you can squeeze through small spaces. And you poke your head through, and you notice that in the room that you are in, there is nobody. However, as soon as you kind of just look around here and there, look left to right, and then try and spot what was going on, you were about to pull your head back, and you see a couple of maids with a laundry cart going down the stairs. You are in the first floor, Taurin. I should remind you this.
Okay, still on the first floor. That's the main floor, right?
Yes.
Where the party's at and everything?
Exactly.
Where that person spilled their drink?
Yes. Where okay. You were spotted because of that person spilling their drink.
Right. Okay. Well, and there's no one else in the hallway, right? It was just the maze going down the stairs?
Yeah, no, you don't see anybody else. As I said, the hallway itself is... lights are off. Everything is just like, being not even lit up by anything. It's just the maids going around. It is there is not like pitch black darkness. There are some like artificial light fixtures here and there that give off just a very dim light, because they need to see. But it is not like bright lights that will give your position away. However, that all depends on what you do.
All right, so we're still on the main floor. Didn't go very far. So what Taurin will do is she'll go outside the door. She'll turn back into her regular self and open the door. that she just came out from under.
Well, you are a mouse, so you just kind of have to like squeeze past because this is a door for a mouse. Or are you trying to like climb up and try the doorknob to actually open it?
Well, what the vision I had was that she was the mouse. She goes under the door,
Right.
outside of the door to open the door. That's her normal self.
Oh, you going to break your wild shape?
Right.
Okay. As I mentioned, the maids are going through the hallway as like you check. So if you break your wild shape, you will be spotted unless you do something first.
Oh, I thought they were going down the stairs. That's
Yeah,
why I was
exactly.
confused.
That's what I mean. Like they were on the second floor. Those were the maids that Rexmoa had to dodge. And now they were on the second floor. Now they're going to the first floor where you are at this point.
Oh, I thought they were going down the opposite direction, away from the door.
Oh, no. They're like you would be like almost at the middle of the hallway, and at the end of the hallway would be the stairway.
Well, then never mind about that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go back in and then go to Maximus and go to the next room.
Okay. Yeah, with Maximus, you are able to, Maximus is waiting for you at the little ventilation things that you can see. The next room, you go down the supplies, you just kind of move past some of the like cabinets and stuff, through another ventilation shaft. The next room over is actually, this is very funny. The next room over is full of carts with dirty bed sheets. This is the laundry room.
Okay. Just the laundry room.
Mm-hmm. Again, nobody is inside. This time, you kind of catch a glance around. There are no robots, unlike the previous door. But I want you to give me a... What can it be? I want you to give me a little bit of an... would it be insight? I guess it would be an insight check. Just for you to think about something. Okay. Taurin, you enter the laundry room, check for robots, check for people, nothing. However, a thought quickly it crosses through your mind. Oh god, the maids had like a cart full of laundry. They're most likely going to come in there at any point.
You know, if you turned into a cat and a maid saw a cat, they wouldn't be as bothered.
They might not even have cats on the matter.
Right.
Alternatively, turn into a boule. I'm sure that will go over well.
Yeah, brulee.
Oh, yes. So as I said, Taurin, right now you are alone with Maximus on the laundry room, but you realize, oh god, this is the laundry room. They may be here at any point in time.
We'll just hide.
All right. I want you to give me a stealth check for you, and I will roll a stealth check for Maximus. God, okay, that's pretty good stealth. I would say with that stealth, you can probably help Maximus out, because that is a nat freaking 20. Well, Maximus did get a decent enough stealth. So I would say that both of you get down into the rest of the laundry carts and then wait a little bit. Within seconds, you hear the door opening. It's one of those like freaking the doors that don't have like a knob. They just kind of be push doors. And the card go in, the maids go like, rambling about whatever they're doing in, their daily lives and stuff like that. Maybe like sharing some gossip about some people in the manor. It's
Ooh.
all like normal people conversations.
Nothing interesting with that gossip came through. Okay.
I will say, the one thing that you are able to catch, and I will give this to you because you had a pretty good roll. The one thing that you are able to catch of this conversation is that the maids are complaining that the Shadow Druid, they call him like the man with all the tattoos, is frequently visiting, and they don't like him because he is very creepy. And obviously they don't have a good feeling about it. And the fact that he is allowed to roam around and just kind of chill just doesn't sit well with them.
They're uncomfortable. Got it. Okay. Is this like the that, what do you call him? What's his name?
House Thrail, you would probably discern
Servine?
that. Yeah. Selvin. Yes.
Selvin. Yeah. Okay.
And with the stealth, I want to give you another little bit of info. You also hear about gossip about a very sleek looking robot that was also around the manor in official business. However, they were not able to look at it too much because they went inside of their office and then came out a few minutes later, and then he just left.
Sleek looking robot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But that is all the gossip that would somewhat interest you.
Okay. Cool beans. Do they eventually leave?
No, you can see that they are going to stay and clean.
All that laundry.
Yes, all that laundry.
Well then, if they're gonna be occupied with that, we're just gonna go back through the vent to the room with the robot again.
You're gonna go to the room with the robot. Okay, you know it's a supply closet. You already know what it is. Bottles, cleaning supplies, brooms, mops, all of that sort of thing. And there's an active robot in there.
Cool names. Well, since they're out of the way, they're in the room doing the laundry. I want to do what I was going to do before going outside the door and turning back into regular Taurin.
Okay, so so now you're going out the door and turning back?
Yes.
Yeah. Since it's your wild shape, you don't really make a noise when you turn back. You just kind of, kind of skitter below the door and then just kind of whoop into Taurin again. You still have your uniform of the House 3 Shoal. And what do you do with Maximus?
He can go back in my pocket.
All right, you grab Maximus in your pocket and get him back. So Taurin, the hallway up to the second floor would be pretty much empty besides the room next to you, which is the laundry, which you would have to be a little bit stealthy. Not too much, the door is closed, they're talking, they're doing the laundry, they're kind of busy, so,
Got it. Okay. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to activate the robot to go upstairs to clean the mess that I made earlier. That's what I would like to do, if that's a possibility.
The mess that you made earlier, you mean like...
Oh,
right. That would be in the party, as he said. You are in another wing of the manor where,
different wing.
Exactly. This is totally outside of the party. Like, this is another side of the manor where, as he said, the lights are off because people are not supposed to be there.
Okay. Well, let's go sneak past that door and go upstairs.
Yeah, just give me a stealth check. This will be a very low DC, so you're most likely gonna pass it because, as he said, you waited for them to be occupied and be inside of the room. You don't even, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, easy enough. You just kind of get to the door. You just kind of peek through by the little kind of small window that the door has to see what they were doing. You see them just on their own and just kind of book it to the second floor.
Okay, cool beans. And staying hidden, of course.
Yep, you will be hidden with that stealth. You are undetected so far. So we're going back to the two on the upper floor. Go into the third floor at this point. Rexmoa, are you following behind Kipper? Are you revealing your position, or are you just kind of trailing the nobles as well?
Let's get some dramatic irony going. Unironic thought, I do not think Rexmoa would trust Kipper to communicate to him that he's there and invisible without Kipper making a fuss of it. So he's just gonna he's gonna leave Kipper be, and he's gonna stay between these two nobles and Kipper, and maybe possibly intervene if something goes terribly wrong. Which
I love
not
this.
looking good.
I love this. Because you are right. Because if Rexmoa were to be like, hey, Kipper would have a mini heart attack, probably. Kipper would be like, oh.
You just yell, and the whole
Just like
operation down to the garbage.
Yeah, that
To be
was the
fair-
appropriate response.
To be fair, I would totally scream if someone invisible was tapped on my shoulder.
Yeah, someone invisible not only taps but whispers in my. Imagine if an invisible person whispers right next to you, and then you just look and see no one in the hallway. You're just like,
Hot.
yeah, I would make an involuntary sound.
Exactly. So Rexmoa, you can see the distance that Kipper is taking. It's a little bit further away from that what you had in mind first. So you can see that it is easy enough for you to keep yourself between Kipper and the nobles. Eventually, both of you would get to the third floor. Obviously, Kipper, you would be a little bit further behind. So Rexmoa, you would get to the third floor first. And you will see same thing, very, very low number of rooms. And one of them has a very fancy door to which the nobles just go inside of it, and one of the three of them, will say House Alabaster, just kind of stays behind and looks. So that, Kipper, I want you to give me a stealth check. As he, opens the door, just kind of moves everybody in. You can see they're all in complete silence. But one of them stays behind to look. Kipper, a stealth check, please. Remember, you have a +1 from your armor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I'm an 18.
Yeah, you have an 18. So, Kipper, as you are, kind of following along the stairway, you kind of go on almost like all fours as you're climbing up the stairs, just kind of trying to peek through, and you see the noble stays behind, starts looking towards the stairs, and you immediately duck down. So far, you have been undetected. Rexmoa, however, for you see that the nobles enter, and this noble is holding the door open as he's just kind of looking about, trying to spot something. He's completely unaware of you. However, they are alerted that something may be following.
You should get in there. Get in there.
Oof.
I believe in you.
I
You should
don't-
get in there. I'll be right outside.
So during this, I guess, brief scene, would any of them been staring, line of me in their line of sight? Because my main concern about doing this is that they will have some way to detect my presence even though I'm invisible.
Well, you
Seems
are
kind of
invisible,
likely.
so they cannot see you. Unlike some other kind of spells that make you harder to detect, invisibility just straight up, you're not seen. So even though they may be looking through you, it's not like an Alien versus Predator kind of invisibility where you see like the little blurry figure of the guy, you know?
Okay.
You are invisible.
Would it be easy enough to just like sneak past them,
sneak past them and go through? I want you to give me a let's see. What can you roll for this one? It's not sleight of hand because you're not using your hands. I guess it would be something along the lines of acrobatics since you're trying to squeeze your way through fast enough.
Yeah, just squeeze my lizard body through there without anyone noticing.
Exactly.
All right, so yeah, and then +1 is 17.
Yep, +1 is 17. Let me roll for something real quick. Okay. So as you do this, like as you just kind of slowly walking towards the door, and then you just kind of put yourself back against the edge of the door to just kind of try and squeeze in, the noble immediately starts closing the door and just kind of like jump forward a little bit, trying to not touch anything or anyone with your tail, and just like squeeze yourself in. And you are now, Rexmoa, inside the office. I'm gonna put this one over here because I couldn't find another cool office. So I'm gonna put this image over here that you have been in. Rexmoa, you are now inside the office, and you see the nobles taking their seats, and House Thrail is obviously kind of waiting for them to get comfortable to start speaking. Kipper, what are you doing before we go into this next bit?
So I see them going in. I feel like Kipper's just gonna try and listen through the door. Obviously, Kipper sneaking in to the room would be like,
you probably,
who the heck is that?
Yeah, it's like you're like straight up just walking into the room and be like, okay, what are you doing here?
Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, just feeling serious FOMO right now.
Yeah, I just kind of felt a weird vibe and wanted to investigate.
Hi, no, you guys seem cool, and I didn't know how to say hi in front of all those people. I got you some cheese.
All right, so what are you doing?
I'm outside the door listening.
Okay, so you're just gonna be outside the door listening. You do hear, as you get close to it, you do hear the door lock itself. And I want you to give me... No, actually, I just want you to roll me a d20. Normal d20, no modifiers.
Normal d20.
Oh, okay. Kipper, you were able to listen to the lock on the door. You can understand that the door is locked.
That's
Anything
good.
else? You don't know. Alright, so you move over to the door and you are going to try and listen into the conversation. It will be a little bit harder for you to hear, but obviously you have big ears. I will give to you that you are at least able to understand most of it. Rexmoa, on the other hand, you are inside of the room with them. You feel the tension happening as the three of them are just kind of sitting down. You see like one of the other noble houses kind of gives him a signal to wait. And then he locks the door and he, casts an incantation at the door. And then they just kind of, he gives him a signal to continue speaking. And House Thrail, Selving Thrail, would start and go, I've gathered you for this meeting because we need to discuss what our duties are. I presume we have everything the saints have required of us, right? And you see the other two are like, oh yeah, we have it all. I mean, I understand. What like, you see the tiefling go like, oh yeah, we have everything. The tanks they ordered, they've been delivered. And I'm pretty sure they're being filled up as we speak. And Selving Thrail was kind of glance over at the tiefling with a little bit of a squint and go, good, because I've given you more than enough fuel for that requirement. And House Alabaster, the human, would go, but yeah, I mean, they're very large tanks, so they're not easy to make, but I think we got it all covered. Are you worried about something? What's going on? And Dusan, the tiefling, would add, yeah, what about, your testing grounds below your factory? And Thrail would say, Selvin Thrail would say, you need not worry about those. Our advisor friend is taking care of them as we speak. All the evidence will be destroyed and no loose ends will be found. You can see like the two of them, it would be like, oh, it's kind of like nice, they look at each other with a little bit of an acknowledging nod, and they go, Dusan specifically goes, is that what you called us, to remind us of our homework? And Thrail goes, no, of course not. I'm not going to waste my spit on such trivial matters. I need for you to complete your duties and fast. The Saints are getting restless. Not only the Saints, but the creature in the sewer is also starting to get restless. And, of course, we don't want something like the fiasco in the lower city to happen again, right? And House Alabaster, the human, goes, sure, but I mean, we can leave it to the heroes, right? They can just do whatever they do best and kill that. And Thrail would reply to him and go, this other thing is not as easy to destroy as the one that escaped. And remember, the Saints want this one alive. They need to show their pet project. And Dusan from House Aaron would go, right, yeah, thing. I mean, we already delivered our part. Tanks are being filled. You gave us all the fuel we needed so far. What else is there to do? The evidence is being destroyed. I think we should be fine. Are the Saints being annoying about it? And House Thrail would reply, I'm just here doing my job and making sure everything is running smoothly. After your contribution, he looks at Dusan. After your contribution, the ritual is almost ready to be started. Of course, we are still having issues with the project of the Saints. The building phase of it is taking a little bit longer than expected, but that is just a slight delay. The design of the saints is quite complex, and the human from House Alabaster goes, right. It's also quite the machinery built there. And House Thrill replies, indeed. And of course, they need this machinery to eliminate that thing in the sewers. Otherwise, how else can they sell it to the public? So, I gathered you here to check up on your duties and let you know that, of course, the information is being destroyed. And now that I'm pleased with your answers, I can tell you that our meeting has concluded. And House Aaron Dusan goes, and what about the lizards? They're definitely plotting something. They're not with us. So that means they're against us. And House Thrail goes, of course. The lovely and so charitable House Trishul. I think we should rush our production, continue the ritual, and after the Saints' little project is done, we can use it to squish them as bugs. And House Alabaster would say, yeah, I get that, but I mean, do you really think that they're not working with the heroes now? I mean, as far as I know, the heroes had some very interesting tech on them at the time where the fight went through. And House Thrail replies, oh, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would say that I'll ask my advisor friend to give her a visit. Nothing hostile, of course, but maybe to snoop around a little bit and see what is going on. Well, if she's allied to those little heroes, we can figure something out about them as well. I did, after all, have a chat with them and told them, hey, to stay out of our business. And Rexmoa, you can see that Dusan is a little bit, he seems a little bit annoyed as the heroes are being mentioned, and you can see him like, like bouncing his leg, tapping a finger on like a table, and like being a little bit, anxious about things. And he goes, no, they're not gonna stay out of our case. We need to deal with them as well. And we need to deal with them fast. That can get pretty bad out of shape. Knowing. And Thrail interrupts them. Knowing what? Some of my sources have told me that you fancied one of the heroes before. Are you sure we can trust you to be on our team? And Dusan returns and goes, that was a long time ago. I am nothing to those people, and I wish to remain that way. If I wasn't able to finish them at that point, it was my own fault. but I got the job done. I delivered your plant, and I've helped the saints all the way so far. So, excuse me if I find your comment insulting. And he stands up. You see, clearly he's very annoyed about what he's being told, and he stands up and is headed to the door. And you can see, like, House Alabaster kind of shrugs at House Thrail, like, shouldn't have said that kind of deal. And House Alabaster was going to stop him, but House Thrail just kind of stops him and just shakes his head as just like, let him go. And he recites the incantation again, and the door is unlocked now. Kipper, you hear the door unlock as you are, like, your ear is pressed against it to listen. I want you to give me a... What are you going to do as the door unlocks and you hear footsteps?
Quick, I need to know the layout of the hallway. What's in it?
It's
what did it look like? Can I climb up the walls? Can I go into... Are there plants? Are there, like, random chairs and tables? I don't know how wide and illustrious this...
You would see that it is a very... It is a very long hallway with a couple of doors on either side for rooms. They are fairly spread apart. Unlike the lower floors where you saw a room every few feet, this ones are like probably like 2 or 3 rooms per like side of this hallway. So it would take you quite a few paces to get into one of those rooms. You know that the room they're in is near the stairway, and the hallway itself is completely empty aside for some paintings and maybe like a little one of those like kind of side table thingies where they put like flower vases and stuff like that. But the hallway itself is pretty empty, and there is obviously like a long carpet on the center of the hallway, just, you know, adornments. There are no lights on. However, you see some small fixtures of lighting that would just give a very dim lighting. And as you hear all of this, Kipper, you hear the footsteps of somebody approaching and the door unlocking immediately. What are you doing?
Okay, so originally I was thinking, oh, I could hide behind a pot or like some sort of furnishing, but so this is them, this is their door. Is the stair like in front over here or like...
No, the stair would be, let me wait, okay, so the stair would be...
You can just delete what I made.
No, don't worry. I'm trying to show you. So this will be the end of the hallway. You came in through the stair right here. This is the stair to go up. This is where you came in. And the doorway would be where you showed up. So you just kind of, you know. The man was looking over here. Like, imagine the door was open. The man was looking over here towards this line of sight, kind of, you know? Yeah. What you did was you just kind of...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm assuming there are more doors going down the hallway.
Yes.
But as I said, assume the doors are kind of like mildly embedded into the wall, kind of like hotel doors.
Yeah, exactly. But as I said, this would require you to walk a little bit. It's not like close to it. Unlike the lower floors where doors were, as you drew them here, almost next to each other. This specific floor has only like 2 or 3 doors in this whole area. So as I said, it will take you a little bit to run and try and hide into these.
Okay, so it's rolling time.
Yeah,
I would try to go to the closest, which obviously is still a little bit of a ways, but...
Okay.
The closest in the opposite direction of the stairs, obviously.
Okay.
Because there's a less likelihood of being seen.
Okay. So, Kipper, I want you to either roll me a dexterity save or a strength save, depending... Well, you are pretty much just sprinting towards one of these doors. So, you're either going to try and be very quick about it, or you're just going to like, okay, all right.
But
you would have
+1 is 8.
You would have an 8. Okay.
Is it possible for me to like, I don't know, intervene in some indirect way?
How are you wanting to do this? Like Rex?
What is like the format of this office? Is it pretty similar to?
Yeah,
You should trip someone.
imagine like this is the
Hold on,
office. I'm
I'm
drawing
figuring it
over
out.
here. I'm drawing it over here. Imagine this is the office. The door is like right over here in the center. This would be like the hallway down here. You would see like desks and like tables and like chairs and stuff like that, you know? The nobles would have been kind of gathered around the general area. And obviously Dusan would have been sitting in one of these chairs. He would just stands up, and then, as he said, he's starting to leave, like angry about this.
Is there like a carpet I could like tug from under him? Maybe make him like stumble a little bit, just to like buy a little extra time.
All right.
Now I do have
Push a
another idea, but it's a
chair
bit
into
extreme.
him.
Okay. I would
I
allow
like
you to
carpet.
do that. I would allow you to do it. Give me a sleight of hand check, because this time you are going to try and use your hands. This is kind of both in the same realm of sleight of hand and stealth, because you're trying to like grab the carpet, pull it, and then try to make it not as obvious so none of the others would see.
Yeah. Honestly, this is going to be very embarrassing for Dusan, because it's just going to look like he tripped on nothing.
Okay.
I'm very excited for this.
All right, let's see it. Remember, you have a +1 from your. Okay. I'm going to roll
So that's
as
a
save
12.
for Dusan to see what happens to him.
All the whammies, nothing good. All the whammies, nothing good. Very small.
Okay. So, Rexmoa, you get to the corner, one of the corners of the carpet, the one that it is kind of closest to Dusan, to see if you can like pull it and make him trip with this. You pull the carpet, but Dusan doesn't trip. He just kind of like stumbles a little bit and then just kind of looks down, but thinks nothing of it. He's very angry. While you are able to buy yourself like a second, no more than that, because he continues.
Okay.
Second is good.
Well, I try. I'm thinking about something. What it kind
Okay.
of feels like the nuclear option, but I'm trying to think. A 7 is pretty bad. Let's be honest here.
A 7 is bad.
A 7 is bad.
Well, it's 8 technically.
It is an 8,
8
but
not great.
yes.
I assume that Dusan's gonna have some pretty good stats. So, all right. Well, we'll make this interesting.
Okay.
Is there actually? No, there has to be a window to the office, because that's how I knew its general location.
Correct. There is a window with closed with a closed curtain. You know the curtain. You know where the window is in relation of the building.
Okay. Just since this is happening, like, in real time, I don't think I'd be able to get my cock to prepare anything. So I'm just gonna make them ram into the window.
The
To cause a
bird?
distraction.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's probably gonna like destroy itself, but since it's behind a
Yes.
curtain, it shouldn't be that.
Yeah, I was about to
obvious what
say,
happens.
most likely the hit would make the familiar fade, because it only has 1 hit point, so unfortunate.
Oh.
But I want you to give me a performance check, just to see how loud this noise is.
Okay. Let's hope it's pretty darn loud.
Okay, no, performance.
Oh, whoops. Performance. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
That's a 13
yeah,
still.
well,
That's a 13. So, Rexmoa, you immediately tap into the senses of your familiar bird that is flying around the manor as you left it. Then you kind of apologize to itself, because obviously you're going to make it kamikaze to a window. And the bird would do just that because it is your familiar. It follows your command, and immediately it just turns and goes flying into the window. The window, you hear the thud of the bird against the window, and it would have left a little bit of a crack on the window. And that would make, as the bird fades away, obviously your senses return to your own person, and that would have made all of the nobles to turn and look over to the window, buying Kipper enough time for him to hide against the window, the door frame. Dusan was kind of like about to open the door, and then the sound immediately makes him turn around for that much of like couple of seconds at most, and then he just opens the door and leaves. Kipper, you managed, with the help of Rexmoa, to hide yourself in this door frame. And I want you to still give me a little bit of a stealth check, please. Remember, you have a +1.
From the walking or from
No.
being in a door?
Just for something that I have. Just a stealth check.
No.
Actually, you could just run a d20. No modifiers. Just a chance.
That
thing.
makes it worse.
It's just a chance thing. Don't worry.
You hate me. No, I'll do it. I'm being silly.
All right, with a 13, Kipper, you like push yourself against the door frame. You can see, like, with your small frame, you just barely visible. The dim light also helps you not be detected. And then you hear the door open, the door slam closed. And then you just kind of like lift your head a little bit to kind of peek, and you see Dusan like stomping off into the stairway that you came from, back down to the second. Okay, and with this, we are going to switch our focus. Not on the people in the manor, but the people in the sewers, as a matter of fact. As the combat in the sewers has finished, the place is now silent again, besides, of course, the random noises of the automatons that are activating themselves and, you know, buzzing and, like, you know, shocking themselves and, oh god, oh boy, what happened?
I accidentally deleted myself.
You did delete yourself. You should put yourself back in the
There
map.
we go.
Thank you. There you go.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And, oh, sorry. You guys may not be able to see the other players because it is only Ambrose in this map, so you don't have the vision of Ambrose. Yeah, don't worry. But Ambrose, you, at this point in time, you guys have left the counselor escape with the alive shadow druids. As I said, it leaves the sewer again in complete silence, besides all the other noises that I am describing.
Well, as per last time, I will grab that scroll that the counselor left.
You grab the scroll and you open it. It is a little bit damaged. It probably got a little bit wet from whatever, you know, sewer water is around the area. And you open it and you see schematics. A lot of technical words and, you know, just diagrams of something. You can see in the drawing something that looks... It's a technological thing. You yourself cannot find shape to it, but that's because you're not too attuned to technology. But there is a... As I said, it's a schematic. Even though it may be a little bit messy, it is still pretty legible. You do, as I said, know that they're using common language for it, because you understand that there are some words. However, you do not know the technical terms and what they mean necessarily.
A lot of jargon involved.
Exactly. Rin would shuffle over to where Ambrose is, holding Echo's bot carefully on her back, like a little backpack. I will remind you that the robot that Rin is carrying right now, it's pretty much a head, half a torso, and one arm. However, it still has the blue light, shining inside of it, and it seems to be the one that is the most active out of the bunch that are around you that, are just malfunctioning or,
I'll kind of give Rin a somewhat solemn expression, though it's still pretty obvious that I'm quite angry over letting the counselor and mainly the shadow druids leave.
Rin looks at the schematic that you have, and she goes, "What's that?" Rin, same for you. Even though you've been hanging out with Borealis quite a lot, and she's probably yapped your ear off about technology and how things work and like technical terms and all of that kind of thing, you are still not too tech savvy to know what these schematics are.
I not sure, but whatever it is, I think Borealis needs to see it. And I'll be speaking pretty quietly.
Yeah.
Kind of like very under my breath.
The robot on the shoulder is kind of looking at these schematics as well, and just kind of looking between you two. And with the very glitchy and, very robotic voice, it goes, "Don't worry about me. Just get out of here safely." And Rin nods and says, "Yeah, let me call her while we head out."
We came here to find more information about you. We're not just leaving you.
Rin says, "Hey, you're coming too, dummy." And she taps her earbud to call Borealis. Again, Rin, the same magical feeling of the connection between the two earrings would establish. And Rin, on your head, you would hear obviously kind of like the little background sound of the party. And you hear Borealis kind of whispering, and it goes, "I don't think this is a good moment for you to be contacting me, but I'm pretty sure this is important, so what is it?"
While the original moments of Ren contacting Borealis, I'm going to take a once-over of the automatons that are scrapped here, and I'm going to try and look for if any of them seem to have a similar amount of consciousness that Echoes does.
Upon just like give me an investigation check while I read Rin, Ambrose. Rin says, "Hey, Bo, we're leaving the sewers. We found Echoes? Kinda? I'm bringing him back to the manor. We got something else we gotta see whenever you can." And Rin, in your ear, you hear a gasp. And then after a few seconds of silence, she goes, I'll try and leave this party as fast as I can. Meet me at the manor. Don't talk to anybody. Get there safely. And the connection ends immediately. Ambrose, with that investigation, I can tell you that you look at the machines. What you can see is a pile of malfunctioning and, shut off robots. Some of them, as I said, they still have some sort of like janky movement or sporadic bursts of activation, or you hear some sort of sound as the mechanisms inside of them just go alive, but then they just die off. Some of them are just straight up like fried electronics in the water. Some others are just, it's this would be what a graveyard of robots looks like. And Rin, she goes to Ambrose. We go back home, straight home, and wait there. Borealis will get back when she can.
I will continue looking over the automaton scrapped pieces for a few moments. Just kind of looking over them. And what I would like to do is, I know the express purpose of this isn't really what I'm using it for, but more just for the roleplay of it. I would like to kind of kneel down into the scrapped pile here and use Touch of Vithius.
Okay.
And in doing so, I will say, I'm sorry that we only just found you. I will not let what happened to you go away. They will be given punishment for the crimes they did against you.
As you are saying this, Ambrose, the robot on Rin's shoulder, is watching you as you move. And again, with this glitchy and like robot voice, it goes, most of these gave their life for nothing. The others, their life was taken. And you see the Rin specifically, since you carry the robot on your shoulder, you hear a little bit of a struggle in the machinery, and you see the light flicker as the robot just kind of stops talking, and the voice glitches a bit more. And Rin says they will fucking pay. Her ears are twitching as she is listening to the robot. And as he said, you notice this flicker and this glitch on his system as the cartridge of stratagem, Rin, you may be understanding that it may not have a lot of battery left. And Rin would shrug to kind of like wake the robot up and go, hey, no going out on me, big boy, not now. And the flicker just continues for a couple of seconds and stops. And then he goes, we need to leave now.
I'll look down at Rin and kind of offer a hand saying, I can carry him if you need me to.
Rin says, no. He always carried me. It's my turn now. We just kind of hold on to the almost completely broken down automaton.
I will nod, and I am going to lightly touch the where Echoes is missing an arm.
Mm-hmm.
I will lightly touch that area, and I'm going to cast the rest of my lay on hands, the rest of my Earth Mother's touch, which is 5 points.
As you touch it, you do feel the magic go through. However, this sort of magic does not work on constructs. So while the warmth of your magic is there, this is a machine you're trying to heal. Well, not heal, but you know what I mean. It is essentially that, a sort of healing.
I will grimace momentarily, but I will move past Rin, and I will hold my sword in front of me and say, I will make sure to keep you and Echo safe.
Rin would laugh as she starts walking, and she goes, don't get used to being spoiled, stinky monkey. You've been sleeping too long. And you also hear kind of like a very glitchy laugh coming from the automaton. Not necessarily like a laugh, but more of like a kind of, you know? And it just keeps holding onto Rin as she starts walking away from the sewers. Well, outside, would say.
This time, as we kind of like start moving through the sewers again, I am going to use my more natural spell for Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
That comes to my racial feature.
Yeah. I will say this before. You cannot hear anything anymore, Ambrose. Like, you would hear before the sounds of thumping and things moving, and now it's all completely gone. Like, you know that like this side of the sewers is most likely empty at this point.
I will still take the precaution.
Okay. So you cast Pass Without Trace. You feel the aura of blurriness going around you and Rin as you guys take your time to go through the sewers. Since Rin knows this place, I will not have you roll a survival check for the escape, because Rin can 100% lead you out. Throughout the way, you would see the robot on her shoulder kind of, glitch out a little bit a couple of times, his light flicker, but still keeping on. And eventually, you two would make it out into the manhole cover that you entered through into the upper city. It is nighttime. Again, you went out. It's been a little while. You know that obviously the party has been going on for a little bit. As you decide to go and, exit the sewers. Since you have Pass Without Trace on, and obviously you have the help of Rin, I am not going to make you roll too much stealth. at this point, it's not really. You're going to succeed. So I would say you three are able to make it back to Trishul Manor without any issues whatsoever. Plus, the party has all the people, moved over to that direction of the district. So the streets are fairly lonely besides the random, patrolling guard or automaton here and there. But you're able to make it into the manor. And obviously, you enter. Rin would be greeted by the other helpers of Borealis. And obviously, she would be let in and taken to what would be the workshop area. That Borealis, you've already been in the spot. That's where she keeps her experiments. That's where she does her tinkering and all of that thing. Very large area, equipped with many different types of machinery to do many different things. And as you guys get there, obviously Rin, you would most likely set the robot down onto like a chair or like or on top of a table. The robot is still glowing blue. The flickers still happen, not as constant, but they have happened a couple of times. It is still there, still holding on. Yes, as I said, he only has like half a torso, so all the inner machinery is revealed. And Rin, as you notice another flicker, you can see that the stratagem tank that it has, which is kind of like the size of a phone, to give you a little bit of a, is almost completely empty. It does have some of this very bright blue liquid still. It's probably about I don't know, probably like a shot's worth of this liquid. And the liquid itself is still, glowing very brightly, as it's obviously being consumed slowly, very slowly. Brynwood pat echoes head, and she goes, Boreas will be back soon. She might be able to make sure you don't go out. Maybe use her own magic. Don't worry, okay? The robot just is staring at both of you and just kind of nod. He doesn't say anything, just kind of lays down in wherever he's been set. Like I said, could be like one of the tables or like a chair, keeping it propped up. He's just there, looking around and not speaking much.
I will stay mostly silent, just kind of glancing between the two. A little bit ways away, trying not to kind of get between Rin or Echoes. I'm still kind of thinking about letting the Shadow Druids go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So after Borealis has been alerted, and eventually you guys got back into the manor, we're gonna shift things back to the party. This time, Taurin, you are now yourself. You are in the hallway of the second floor at this point. You would have, you would have gone up the stair, and you carry Maximus and your couple of things normal in your bags / pockets / hands. And you would be sneaking about, trying to not cause any distractions or anything like that. The second floor, as I mentioned, is a similar layout. Again, there is a corner that, you know, turns and it continues over to what would be the next stairway of the third floor. This one, however, unlike the first floor, has rooms that are much further apart. The doors look a lot fancier. You can tell that, you know, probably for the nobles to be there.
Anything that's worth a $5, you know, or sorry, a $5 discount. I suppose you said, sorry,
$5 discount.
$5 discount.
I mean, probably a lot of these things are fancy enough that are worth a $5 discount.
Keep in mind you don't have like a bag or anything.
Yeah. You only have your like pockets, pouches. And remember, you already have things in those pouches, namely, you know, Maximus.
Store it in the vent.
I mean, hey,
Put it in your mouth.
Later.
just eat it. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Look at this diamond. That's nice.
Look at this diamond. Gulp. I'm sure that'll come out later.
That'll come out later. No worries.
As I said, as you're walking around the hallways, there's some paintings, there are some random like little vases, decorations, plants, and things like that. It looks very... Well, you've probably seen how these kind of places look. There's so much space and it is very empty.
No, I'm teasing. No, she would not do that.
Yeah. So as you continue walking about, I want you to give me a perception check, Taurin.
Perception. Now I'm gonna open up roll 20. If I vanish,
Oh
it's
boy.
not my fault. Because it's been evil tonight. I don't know why.
Really?
My PC keeps on, when I open up roll 20 and I get everything opened up, it keeps saying, oh, your PC ran into an issue, and then it just must restart.
Wow,
And I'm
that's
like,
insane.
it's been going on since last Sunday, and I'm like, I don't know why that keeps happening.
Time to get a new PC.
I think so. Because like when you're in game, especially with Stardew, and you're like, yeah, all I gotta do is go save.
And
No, you don't,
die.
because
Oh,
you're gonna
no.
restart.
That is awful.
So it's been a fun experience. All right, so I'm loading up here, and you needed me to give you what was it again?
Perception check.
Perception. Okay.
Can you do it on your phone? Maybe. I know that
I'm
Roll20
gonna try-
is not the greatest on phone, but you know.
Yeah, mobile and tablet's okay. I can probably open it up here in a minute after I do this little roll. So you said perception, right?
Perception, correct.
Let's see if it'll load. Did it go? There it is. There you are.
Okay.
Sure. 16.
With that perception, Taurin, as you are about to round a corner, you hear footsteps getting closer and closer as they're approaching through the hallway next to the corner that you are in. Just a singular set of footsteps.
Oh. Are they walking fast or slow?
They are very
That's
stumpy. Not necessarily fast or slow, they're moving at a normal rate.
Okay.
But
But
you
they're
see-
stumpy.
Yes.
Okay.
What are you going to do? You know that eventually it will turn the corner.
That's nice.
So, you know.
Is there anything I can like? You said it's empty in there. Is there
It's
any way?
fairly empty, yeah.
Is there a way I can like get up close to the wall? Is there like a curtain or anything? I don't know. Like those drapes that you see?
Yes, there are some windows with curtains that they're all closed, so they can, like, you know, they don't let anything from the outside in. Other than that, as you said, the hallway is fairly empty. If you take the example of Kipper, I believe he was lucky enough to be able to hide on this door frame because he is he's small.
Right. Let me log in. There we go. Well, I'll try and hide and see what happens.
Where are you trying to hide?
Just maybe am I close to the stairs that I came up from?
Yeah.
Can I try and duck behind the stairwell? There we go.
Yeah, 100%. You would be able to like run back to the stairs and just kind of duck like Kipper did a little bit ago. I want you to give me either a strength or dexterity save. Cause depends on what you want to do. If you want to like run for it, or you're just trying to be very subtle about it, but still kind of book it.
Oh, you said a save, right?
Yes. Either strength or dexterity, whatever you wanna.
Because saving throws, yeah, I want this dexterity throw. That should be it.
Okay. All right. Let me do a little bit of a roll myself. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So, Taurin, you sprint towards the stairs and you kind of, leap down and just duck below the stairs. You hear the footsteps eventually stop, and you don't hear any movement, but you know that the footsteps have stopped. You hear a door open, and then the familiar voice goes, I figured you would be around. I didn't think you were that dumb to follow into a party like this.
He's addressing me?
Yeah. Taurin, you were detected.
I know he ain't talking to me like that. Excuse me.
That's what he said.
I think that's exactly. I think that would be her reaction. Excuse me.
And as you lift yourself up, now that you know it's over, he saw me. You lift yourself up, you be like, excuse me, and he goes, same old temper. And he is facing the door, obviously. He opened the door, he's facing it, but he turns over to you and he goes, what are you doing here?
Taurin's tail kind of whipped back and forth, annoyingly.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing here?
I live here. This is my home.
Taurin kind of look around. Couldn't get any more furniture, a little more decoration.
Oh, I'm sorry. The 3-story manor with plenty of room wasn't enough. I apologize, and he gives you a very mocking bow. And he goes, next time I will hire the best interior designer.
Maybe you should, because your taste kind of sucks. Just saying. As far as interior design goes. Like that color. Blech.
He laughs and steps inside the room. He leaves the door open. Let me put the image of this man on the screen. Ooh.
Wait, he just left the door. Wait, he walked through the door and just left it open?
He just left the door open. Just stepped inside. You see the light eventually like turn on. The door is wide open.
It's such a freaking trap. Haunting. Well, detected. He hasn't called the guards yet. What else to do? This will be fun.
Yeah.
Taurin will slowly approach the door and try to peek in.
Yeah, as you peek in, you see this is a very elegant room. And if you want to, you can give me an investigation check to see if you detect anything odd with it.
Sure. We'll do an investigation before we head in there, I suppose. If it'll let me do a normal roll, please. There we go. It might take a minute.
It's all good. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
I'm doing this on tablets. Weird.
Yeah,
Did it
I
go?
don't really like mobile in Roll20. I don't think it has, and if it did, it might. There you go. Ooh, okay. Dirty 20, very nice.
Hey.
With that investigation, Taurin, you peek in, look around, see is there any traps, is there anything in the door, anything in the ceiling, anything, to the sides, anything in the walls, maybe robots waiting to freaking get me or something, and nothing. It looks like a very normal room.
So,
You see him go inside the room and just take a seat in one of the chairs that was in the room. He's obviously looking, facing towards the door where you are now.
he'll kind of obviously try to scoot in.
Mm-hmm.
So you left all this pretending to be just a wandering bard for the kick of things?
Hey, we all made our lives. We all wanted a little bit more. I was the only one who got it. Look at me. I'm a noble in one of the biggest kingdoms. I have a manor that I don't even know what to fill with. I can have anything I want.
What you did to get here, was it worth it?
He sighs and goes, honestly, this life is boring. I can have it all. I can do it all. I can snap my fingers and suddenly a few robots or a few maids would be here to tend to my every wish. I can just make a simple call and I can have all the city guards be here in mere moments to grab you and your friends, and I'll probably end up executed. But you know what? I don't really like that. I enjoy the thrill. I enjoy the danger. So I think this is a very interesting opportunity for that.
Just another adrenaline rush to kind of sate that thirst, I guess, huh?
Well, whenever you live the life of a noble, it's only go to meetings here, then go and talk to this other person there, sign the contract here, get this done over there. It's awful. But I can't complain.
Poor, poor soul. I feel so sorry for you, she'd say sarcastically. Doing a slight little mocking bow to return that, of course.
And, you know, you can see him smiling at that, and he goes, "What are you looking for here? Were you trying to spy on our conversation?"
No, I actually came to see if it was actually you or just a lookalike. Kind of hard to find a tiefling, you know?
It's me, flesh and bone. So what? Are you here for revenge?
No. Maybe... We could probably make a deal.
A deal? Really? What can you offer me that I don't already have?
Not anything that you can take. More like maybe do something that's not, I guess, typical of this life and actually do something that's good for a change and give back what you stole.
Oh, you mean the plant?
Exactly. The very thing I came here for.
Well, I am very sorry to disappoint, but I don't have the plant. My friends, the druids, have it. Guess what gave me the life that I have right now?
You trust those druids? With the plant?
Oh,
The shadow druids.
don't trust anybody with anything. The only thing I can trust is coin. And now I have a lot of it.
So you gave the plant to the druids. Not just any druids, but to shadow druids.
It was worth a lot more than whatever those other people wanted to pay us.
You know you left me in a lot of debt because of that, right?
I know. I'm very aware. Unfortunately, it was either that or, well, the Shadow Druids were not really keen on paying multiple people.
Torna just closed her eyes and just kind of looked down at the floor. You really are a piece of shit, aren't you?
He, lifts his hands as in a, yeah, kind of way.
You got no remorse for what you do or who you hurt just so you can get what you want.
Isn't that what we were looking for when I introduced you to our little organization of outlaws and bandits to take and not to have anyone tell you anything?
No. I saw past all that. I saw life was more than just gold for a change. I had some very good friends show me that much along the way.
I am glad. So what is it then? Are you trying to hurt everybody in here? People involved, the nobles of Port Strail? I told you, I already sold what you wanted. There's nothing you can give me.
You're right. There's nothing I want from you, other than that plant. But you don't have it, so I guess I'll have to look elsewhere. So, who did you sell it to? I need a name.
I already told you. My tattooed friends, we'll call them. They were very happy to purchase this plant. I think the Saints want something to do with it. I'm not too sure. They also keep their stuff to themselves, but everything here revolves around the Saints, so I'm not surprised if it would be.
Well, let's see here. Give me 1 second here.
Don't worry. Take your time.
I don't even know if that would even work. Let's see.
What will it be?
Can I... Well, I don't think that's gonna count, because I don't think that's let's see here.
Well, you can always ask me.
That is true.
Because if you're just going, oh, I don't know if it's gonna count, then you don't really know.
I mean, it's a spell I want to cast, but I don't know if it's gonna work on him, so...
Well, which one is it, so we can see?
I wanted to cast Gias.
Oh my god.
Oh boy, okay. Can you link it in the chat?
Can
That's a
I...
high level spell.
That is a high level spell.
Oh, I got... Oh, whoa. I get to choose that? Oh, wait, no. I don't want to cast it now. Stop. No, hang on.
Oh,
Okay.
she's casting it now. I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
If I tap the chat, does it pop up there?
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Okay, let's see. If it's a magical command on a creature that you can see within range, forcing you to carry out some service or refrain from some action or a course of activity as you decide. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you by the direction. But while the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter your instructions. With no other... Okay, interesting. 30 fucking days of duration. Jesus Christ. A creature that can't understand... You can initiate a command you choose. Okay. I mean, yeah, if that is a save, if he saves.
If he saves,
Yeah, I mean, it's a save.
Wait,
That's
okay.
how it works. Like, he has to do a wisdom
They
save.
know if they get a spell casted on them?
I mean,
Like,
yes, there is a verbal component, so you would have to
Okay.
enunciate a casting of a spell, like, some magic words or stuff like that.
okay, but it does count. I could use it.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
his
100%. I mean,
feet.
nothing is stopping you.
Okay. There's so much that happened. It's like, what do I choose for him? What do I make him do? Okay, let's see. If it works.
Okay.
Oh my god. Hang on.
Does courts have to decide the command before?
It does
Cast
say
spell?
blah 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 blah.
As you cast it, you
yeah,
have to
as you
give it-
cast it,
Yeah.
you have to tell him what he has to do or refrain from doing.
Okay, so you can't like wait to see if you succeed or not.
No. You
Right.
kind of do it first, then you see if he succeeds or not.
Okay.
And even then, they can still not do it. They just take a lot of damage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, they just take damage.
I'll tell you, never cast this thing on a lawyer.
It's okay. That's why you have Zone of Truth.
That is also another thing, yes.
There's so many options to choose, and it's like, which one do I choose? Which is the right choice? Let's see.
Well, there's no right and wrong in this situation. Just
Do I
go
take
with
all
your
his
gut.
money?
Unless you're wrong.
Do I make him
Uh,
sign all his paperwork over? Do I get the house?
Well,
Sign a
if,
document.
if you're looking for
him
my
out.
opinion, I think you should do something more relevant to helping us out in the grand scheme of things. Or
Exactly.
if you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. If Taurin wants to use it to just for personal reasons, and that's like completely in character for her, that's perfectly fine too.
Jokingly, that would have been the option, but like obviously, I want to try and keep us safe in this situation, so he does not call the guard and we get busted. That's for sure. I just don't know how to word that.
Mhm.
Who
Have him
his
just walk
pants
out.
every time someone says Saint of Compassion?
You can just word it like vaguely or generally. I don't think there's any punishment for that per se. I feel like if you get more specific, it gives them
The
more
easier it
opportunity
is,
to
yeah.
to circumvent it.
Right?
Mhm. I would agree. You can only issue one command. Imagine just being like, "Hey, you should like go downstairs and tell everyone all the shit you've done."
Yeah, I mean, he can resist. He will
can
take
resist.
damage.
Right.
Also, this is assuming that it works on him. We
Exactly.
Don't really know
Yeah,
what
that
yeah,
is
that's
also
what
if he
their
doesn't
wisdom
save.
is like. I would imagine, like as a former bard, they would have a high charisma, but I don't really know. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
How much does his charisma drop at each time you kick him into balls?
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's a wisdom save. So
Yeah.
I was just saying for the purposes of like trying to figure out their character that they might have a high charm.
I imagine he also may be carrying some kind of magic items on him that makes him more like resistant. I imagine the important nobles are probably pretty
Yeah.
well
Also,
equipped.
yeah.
If,
They
if
also
you're
work with
not
Shadow
sure, you
Druid,
can
so-
always still just talk. I'm just saying.
I know. That's what I was wanting to do though. If it's just like, let's see.
For the drama,
Alternatively,
honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about like getting the most out of this.
So that's what I would want to. Yeah.
Try to act, I guess, like just act naturally for Taurin.
Alternatively, summon a fire elemental.
Damn. How would you word that? Hang on, wait.
Would you like help constructing the sentence? I guess, what do you want from them?
No, I'm just trying to word it to where it doesn't call for help for anything, basically.
I will say he did mention that he could, but he find it boring.
But he still could. In his truth.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, I'm just... You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Taurin is gonna be like... As she's casting it, she's like... I would like you to personally escort all of your... Or, hang on. So dumb. I'd like to personally escort. No, not that.
Would you want it to swap to someone else? And
Yeah, if you
like,
need a
write out
little
different
bit of
ideas?
time.
Just so we don't put you on the
No.
spot.
It's fine. I said what I wanted to do with the spell. I'm okay with just doing that and not having to come up with something like that on the spot. I just can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay, I mean
That's what I would
yeah.
like him to not be able to, like, you know. I don't have any role playing ideas at this point in time. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
That's
It's
fine.
all fine. Don't worry about it. It is all fine. So you basically would cast the spell and tell him, hey, don't call the guards. Just kind of let us be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see if he fails or succeeds. Make sure to take down 5 mana points, by the way.
Yeah.
That is a fail on his part. So, Taurin, you cast the spell and issued the command. As the spell hits him, he seems not amused by it. But he's still there. It's kind of looking. And he goes, I hope what you're getting is worth it.
Can you Gias him a second time and be like, go downstairs and drop your pants?
I mean, technically, yes. Keep in mind the casting time is a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So you do spend a minute like preparing and casting the spell. And as this
Wait,
is
does that mean that you just stand there for a minute? and
pretty
he's
much.
just sitting there, just like, well, I guess she's just gonna do it again. I'll
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
here.
exactly. But like you've noticed that he waited for you to cast it. He didn't do anything to prevent you from casting it.
Also, this
That's kind of weird.
the verbiage of the spell, like in my mind, I see it. It's not mind control. You can't force someone to do something.
No, as I said, if they do
yeah.
it, they'll just be hurt.
Yeah, so you could like tell them to squawk like a chicken, and if you cast the spell and they fail to save, like, do they just have like knowledge of it, or like?
Basically, if you tell them, hey, you do it, and they say, no, I'm not gonna do that, they're gonna be like, take damage. It says over here, when they do an action that would counter what you told them, they would take damage. So basically, if you say, hey, you gotta squawk like a chicken, and then you go, okay, I'll go on, squawk like a chicken, and they're gonna be like, no, why would I do that? Boom, damage.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
They are
Okay,
completely conscious of their actions, and they have their own free will. However, if they don't do or do something different, or the opposite of what you told them, they will take damage.
Fun fact, if I got really unlucky, that could just kill me.
You probably, yes.
And God, it is so crazy the amount of health I have compared to you guys. I could just tank that. I could tank 2 of those pretty easily.
Constitution is a very, very underrated stat in D&D. So yeah.
That was my turn though.
Yeah. Well, there are no turns in here. You're just kind of playing it out. As I said, he waited for you to cast it, and once you did, he straight up just tanked it and went like, okay, I hope it was worth it.
For the time being, I think so.
And he goes, all right. So, am I gonna end up dead in my room? Bleeding out? The other nobles are gonna find me and they're gonna blame somebody else? Or are you gonna make it seem like an accident? I don't think your visit here was just, say hello.
Damn, you're gonna make me go with that?
You have free will, my friend.
You're gonna make me go with that?
You have free will.
You can make whatever choice you want. We just have to. You just have to accept the consequences for you and the party.
But you can't call for help, and he's still gonna get hurt if he does. Still kind of works with me.
Again, I will remind you.
Damn.
He did say he could, but he thinks it's boring.
We're literally right here. Good. That is true. That is true. Oh, yeah. Doesn't somebody else have the ring or earring? Or is it just Taurin?
From your party, just you. Rin also has one, but obviously that doesn't affect anything in the party.
Right.
Hey, it affects me.
Kind of.
It does. Thing is, do I do that now?
You don't have to if you don't want to. Just consider what you've been told.
It's like he wants her to attack, and I don't want to do what he wants. You know what I mean?
And
so it's like,
yeah,
I'm not going to. That's like a very tempting thing to do. It's like, oh, go ahead, attack, go ahead, do it. I want you to. And it's like, but then he let her cast, so it's like, I don't know about this, guys. It's very awkwardly.
I will say, if you're having trouble coming up with something, something is going to happen as well. So, if you want to, like, kind of skip this little bit, we can have the other thing happen.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay.
Continue on. I'll think of something.
All right. So, as you are in this standoff, pretty much, Taurin, you feel the magical connection calling in your ear.
And she'll answer.
As you touch the earring to answer, you hear it in your mind. You hear the background of people, and you hear the whispering Borealis going, "We need to retreat now. I will be heading out. I suggest you do the same. Quickly. We'll meet at the manor. Try not to get yourselves caught." And the communication stops immediately.
That's solid. There we go. Because I was gonna go bear and probably rip off his head. So we're good. I'll leave.
And as long as you don't get caught.
That's true. It can be stealthy.
Did something happen?
So yeah, I mean, you hear this, the communication cuts, and then you see Dusan just sitting there, just kind of observing. You know, as he said, he's like bouncing his leg, just kind of, you know. And seeing that you are not really doing much, he goes, "Right. So how about this? You go and play with your little lizard friend a little bit more in their fancy little laboratory. And I get to be here, continuing my business. It's a win-win."
I'm going because I want to go, not because you told me to. But this isn't over.
He shrugs and just remains there. Are you leaving?
Taurin will leave.
And as you head outside of the door, you know, you go into the hallway and start going down the stairs. As you go down like the first flight of stairs, you hear footsteps from the room that you just exited, and then, you know, eventually the door will close, and you would hear his voice, Dusan's voice again, and he would go, "She's also here, you know."
She'll glance back up at the door.
He's like there, like, you know, standing with the open door right there. Like, no, sorry, it closed the door, but he's standing like right next to the door.
What do you mean she's here?
You know who I'm talking about. But I really don't know anything. You're gonna have to ask my tattooed acquaintances about that.
Taurin's fur would start to bristle. Trying to hold back her anger.
And
I think she's gonna march back up them stairs, back up towards that door.
okay. I mean, he's there.
Yeah, and I think what she'll do is like she'll probably grab him by the collar and go, "Where is she?
You can see like as she.
Why does he have him or her?"
as you grab him and pull him close, he is grinning and he goes, "It's all business." And he shrugs and goes, "I really don't know where they have her."
But she's here in the city.
As far as I know.
She'll let him go. If anything happens to her,
And
I will have your head.
as you were saying this, he turns around and goes, yeah, I know. I'll be here. My doors will be open. You can get your revenge. And as he turns to face away from you and starts walking off into the hallway until he stops and just kind of glances at you and goes, I've already won.
Is there a vase nearby that she can grab and throw at him?
You 100% can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you grab one of the vases and just throw it at him. He's just kind of like, he hits him on the back and he just doesn't really care. He goes, I already won. I have everything I want. If you're looking for revenge, then you know where to find me. But I will tell you this. Nothing is going to change now that things have been set in motion. And he faces away from you once more and then just keeps walking. And as he is going to turn the corner, he just kind of waves at you. Not looking, but just kind of waves and says, it's nice meeting you again. And just continues.
She'll just be like, that son of a... Okay. And she'll go to leave.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll go back to Kipper and Rexmoa. Kipper, you are like heavily panting as you almost got caught. You are like pressed against that door. You are, trying to be as stealthy as possible until you hear like
It's like quiet panting.
Yeah, exactly.
But
You're like, oh my goodness, I almost blew the entire operation. And Rexmoa, you were able to notice, obviously, Dusan going out, and the rest of the guys are still inside. And they're now talking about some, money to be given to somebody or like contracts to sign. Nothing related to what they had to talk before.
Is the door still open from Dusan leaving?
He slammed the door, like, closed again.
Oh, fuck. Is it still under the effect of the spell that, what's his name? Cast earlier? Because he undid it when Dusan left. Did he redo it?
What do you mean undid it? What are you talking about?
The locking mechanism.
Oh, yeah.
When
No. You this time you see that this guy, the House Alabaster, didn't use the same spell, or he just kind of let it be.
Okay. Do they seem like distracted and pretty engaged? Like, is the
they're talking. You see, they're in the study, just kind of like, oh my god, I need to give some money to this person because I need to trade in stocks and to us,
Yeah, I want to try to leave since it seems like they're done talking about the important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if the room is laid out where like the desk is facing the door, I feel like that'd be kind of suspicious. Are there any like documents on top of the desk of note I can like peep at? Really anything around this room?
Yes, as a matter of fact. I want you to give me a little bit of an investigation. Now that the people are just kind of like talking about random stuff, you can probably like start moving around because you see they're just sitting down, just kind of discussing things. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay. With that, Rexmoa, you managed to move around the room, just kind of trying to search for things, look around, try not to move anything, because obviously you're in an enclosed space with two people that will probably see if something big moves. What you are able to find as you look around and go into the desk, you are able to find an open ledger that has... as you start reading it, you see that it has some notes about transactions, specifically in crates or shipments of stratagems and different kind of well, the specification of things. So, for example, this guy wanted a crate for the assembly of automatons of this size. This guy wanted 2 crates of this and this and this to sell for this shop, you know? Things like that. What you are able to notice, though, Rexmoa, is that one of the latest logs in this ledger are the Saints, and they are requesting 2 tanks of it says custom size, and in parentheses there is a measurement. These tanks are very large. Like, I am talking probably the size of a car each.
Noted. What's a car?
It's me. I'm a car.
Mhm.
But yeah. You see,
Okay.
I just don't know what the measurement of a car would be. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
just kind of.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
They're very big.
They're
Yes.
especially
Car length,
comparison compared to like a regular like stratagem.
Yeah, exactly.
as long as a car.
If like a standard one is the size of a phone, you can understand the difference between the sizes.
Yeah, that's a lot of potential energy.
That is what you are able to find in the ledger. Of note, the rest is just like random shipments and crates. There is, now that you mention it, there is the log of of an Auxmer, but it says a shipment of stratagem, but it says size undisclosed and amount of each undisclosed. So, and it has like a bunch of like question marks next to it.
Now that's consistency. I like it. Okay. So are Thrail and this other human who's the head of the other house, are they
Alabaster, yes.
Yeah. Are they like at that desk? Are they like were they sitting in the same position?
They're like in front. There's like some couches and some like chairs. They're kind of in front, just kind of having a conversation.
Okay.
The desk
so-
is like left alone.
Okay, so they're not facing the door.
No, they would be like, let me draw you something real quick. They would be like, for example, if the room is this is the doorway, there would be like here, and this is like the desk, and you would be like here. They would be like looking at each other.
No.
So you would be able to like go like, you know, scoot around the edges of the room and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. They already gave their big speech, so I don't. Oh, God. I'll say if we want to see what Kipper's doing, I think realistically Rexmoa would kind of try to be patient to see if one or both of them leave so he can sneak out. He doesn't want to take an unnecessary risk when it comes to being detected.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, within a few seconds of their like, as you are like searching for things when they're like talking of like random stuff, eventually, you know, House Thrail would get up and say, "Hey, let's go back to the party. People are waiting for us," and they would start to leave. Which, if you want us to go to Kipper, you would have a moment of, a brief moment where, you know, the other two nobles would be talking in there, and then they would leave onto the hallway. So what are you doing?
Oh, so they just left?
No, they're going to. That's what I'm telling you. You have a moment right now to act and see how you can get out of this situation that you're in before they leave into the hallway.
I mean, if they leave into the hallway, aren't they going down the stairwell most likely? Are they going down the stairwell?
Correct. So you're going to risk another stealth check?
I think I would have to risk something anyway, regardless of where I am. I think just staying where I am is... Wouldn't that be... If I stay exactly where I am, like, is a stealth check necessary, or is the stealth check for if I try to move somewhere
Well,
else?
remember that before it was for you to be stealthy while you were running towards your cover. Now,
Yeah.
What if these guys just kind of turn and see, oh my god, there's something in that door, you know?
But it's an
fucking rabbit.
indented door. It was
Right.
indented.
Right, but
They
remember,
can't see me.
you've already alerted them a little bit.
Yeah, I know why you pulled me over. I don't really know where else to go. If I, like, book it down the, If I book it down the stairwell, I feel like I will be heard.
Potentially.
And if I just move to a different doorway, it's the same scenario. I feel like the doorway I'm in right now would be the same exact thing of they wouldn't see me if the previous guy didn't see me.
All right, so if that is the case, then I'm going to have you roll a stealth check as you just kind of catching your breath as you were almost caught, and enough time has passed where you can hear them going again outside. So give me a stealth check, and we'll see what happens. Okay, you have a 16. Yeah, let me roll something real quick. Okay. So yeah, eventually, like, you hear the door would open again, and the two would, you know, they would be talking about some random things like, oh my god, yeah, did you see that this guy did this? Oh, what's the wordell of the day? You know, things like that. And eventually they would leave through the same stairway, and you would, like, whew, you know, just kind of breathe, finally relieved that there is nobody now in the floor that you're in as they exit.
Yeah.
And Rexmoa, again, for you as well, they exit and they just leave.
Okay. No, it's not worth stealing anything. That's too risky. Oh, I'll just leave.
Okay. Are you just going to...
Is the door still open?
I mean, the door is just closed, but it's doesn't have any spell or anything. Rexmoa, you could see that they just opened it and closed it. They didn't do anything to it.
Okay. Yeah, I will exit the room, be quiet, and then I'll look around to see if Kipper's still there, because I knew he was around.
You know,
judging by the lack of
you-
commotion.
Yeah,
he didn't
as
get
you
caught,
as you
but-
exit, you see Kipper, hands on his knees, just kind of like, oh my goodness.
No, I mean maybe.
Mhm.
Part of me is instinctually like Kipper would notice the door opens a third time.
Yes, you would
And it's
100% notice the door
What
open.
the actual heck? Only 3 people went into that. Was there always someone in that room? And is just thinking
That is
like, do I have
actually
to,
very
like,
true. Kipper, so you would
atomically merge with the door.
100% see the door open. You are ready to run away again, but then you notice that there is nothing coming out of the door. The door just kind of open.
Oh. Kipper would get closer to the door, knowing that the people that just left a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees the door. He like peeks around the end of the door a little bit. It's like there's nothing. So he just walks into the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see what Rexmoa also saw, a very fancy looking study and all that
And I'm
you can
looking
see.
for things to steal.
I mean, there are vases or probably like expensive, like, you know, stationery and things like that.
Small things that I can loot.
All right, I'm just gonna say that like yeah, since my intention was to always find Kipper, I'm just gonna follow him back into the room but not say anything.
Okay. So you would see all that Kipper is doing without even mentioning it to him. Okay. So,
Kipper would just be like,
yeah.
I don't know if they need all of these things. Just like speaking to himself, like under a whisper. This is a lot of, quite a good amount of unnecessary things. Some could say
I
that
want you to
it's
give me an investigation check.
I'm still talking.
Yes.
You can talk and roll.
Alright. No, I can't. I have no bones. Okay, hold on. Investigation?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Kipper, as you are walking around thinking to yourself, damn, these guys have too many things. Maybe we should, maybe we should get rid of some of them for them. That would be better. As I said,
Looking for small things.
you are able to find like expensive looking stationery and like maybe you see like some of the stuff that is not necessarily big, sorry, not necessarily small, but like for example you see like a very fancy looking lamp that is almost looks like it's made out of gold, but that one would not fit in your pocket. This is more than like a proper like storing room for things. This is an office, so you don't see any valuable, well, you do see things that are worth something, but most of them would definitely not fit in your pockets.
So Kipper would pick up the pen,
Okay.
start putting it in his pocket, and he's like,
Rexmoa, as soon as Kipper
wait.
starts reaching for that pen, Rexmoa is going to grab his wrist.
Oh boy.
dang, I was gonna make such a spectacular moment though.
Okay, fine. We can hear. I'll hear what you want to do, but
Okay.
I would say
Let's hear it.
My thing is in character for Rexmoa. All right.
No, it is very in character. So what I was gonna do is he was gonna pick up the pen and start putting it towards his pocket, and then like audibly be like, Rexmoa wouldn't be very happy if I did this, and then put it on the counter.
I'll still intervene anyways, but that's funny to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll say anything. I'll just like grab Kipper's wrist just to start and see what he does.
Yeah, Kipper, you feel a force grabbing your wrist. You cannot see where.
I can feel it. Kipper's gonna just look in the direction with like a horrified look, just slowly turn his head towards the direction where there's an invisible thing grabbing his wrist.
Yes.
It's just like completely unaudibly, just like, excuse me?
I guess there's no real reason for me not to reveal myself.
Yeah.
Now that, yeah, since like we're relatively isolated. Ooh. What is it that you said earlier, Beth? Rexmoa wouldn't want me to do that. Was that it? Huh.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that, lad.
Oh.
Yeah. The
My
disembodied voice of
hand is
Rexmoa.
My hand is on my chest. And I'm just like, oh.
I think he will. Yeah. So I'll just talk in character.
You
can steal from anywhere else, but not here. We can't let anyone know that we managed to reach the office.
Are you dead?
No, not last time I checked.
Oh. This is something having to do with that mask, isn't it?
Let's save the questions for later. We should return to our post. Post haste.
Can you make it where I can see you, maybe?
Unfortunately, I cannot do that, lad.
You know what? This is fine. Yeah, that's okay. Dang. Okay. How much of that did you see?
Everything, Kipper. I saw everything. You have some very squeaky shoes.
Listen, I'm not accustomed to shoes, okay?
Have you seen Taurin? I know that she was also trying to get over here. And did you see where Dusan and the others went when they left the room? Did they go back to the party?
It seemed like they all went down the stairs from what I could reckon, but I was kind of jamming myself up in a doorway just so they wouldn't see me. And for Taurin, she already left by the time... She had left like a good amount ago before I left. I just followed Dusan and House Thrail, House Alabaster Lords here. Gonna be honest, they're noble, so I don't really remember their names. Except for that one.
It's all... I learned a lot. Well, I was investigating. It's all too much to explain right now, but we have to find Taurin and Lady Borealis and catch them up immediately. There is an impending danger to all of us.
Isn't there always? Well, I wasn't gonna take that pen, by the way.
Oh, you just wanted to admire it?
Well, I was going to take the pen, but then I decided not to. Right around the time that a disembodied hand found me.
Well, I'll trust your claim, Kipper. And we could talk more about it later. I'll go first down the stairs and scout things out, and you can follow. I'll try to give you a signal if anything is amiss. And if you're gonna steal something, steal it from somewhere less important.
But, like, nobles have the best crap.
And nobles are also sometimes very observant when people mess with their crap, especially in their personal spaces where they have their private meetings.
Also, when you do, a signal, make sure it's not a physical signal, because you will be doing it and I will see nothing.
No, don't worry. You'll know when it happens. And then I'll kind of just like physically turn Kipper around and like gesture him towards the door. And then I'll open it and go first.
Yeah, I mean the floor is empty as far as you know. I will say floors 3 and floor 2 is kind of debatable. But I will say that you know that floor 3 is empty. Floor 2, well, you can't really be too sure. And floor 1 is where the maids are now.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll say one last thing to Kipper. If worse comes to worse, escaping by any means is better than getting caught. They can know that someone was in here, but they can't know it was us. Lady Borealis is under a lot of scrutiny, and we don't need to add to her troubles.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense for me to steal. It's not actually imperative. It's more just a... I hate the nobles here. And I dislike them in other places too, but like especially here.
Well, your ire is well deserved. All right, you know the plan? Let's get back to the dance floor.
Yes. I don't know if I saw very much dancing though.
I will say, both of you, I want both of you to give me like a general stealth check, so we can just go straight back into the main hall. Taurin, for you already know where the maids are, so I'm thinking you can just like, you know,
Bypass him.
yeah, you can just bypass them. For both of you, Kipper and Rexmoa, +1 and Rexmoa +2. For both of you, well, Rexmoa, you have the advantage that you're just, you know,
Invisible.
you're invisible, so you're
Invisible.
kind of yes, sir.
I would like to be like the lore implications of the Kipper being so bad at stealth is because he's not accustomed to wearing shoes.
Yeah, we can do that 100%. But yeah, so you guys have no issues with floor 3 and 2. On floor 1, obviously you have to go through the maid area. Rexmoa, you're invisible. Even though your stealth is not great, whatever you do will probably not be noticed, since if you bump onto something, nobody's there to see it. So you're just kind of cool. Kipper, you again do the same thing with the shoe. But you managed to like kind of turn the corner fast enough as you hear the door open, as one of the mates is like, oh my god, I'm starting to hear things. And they just go back to their own. And eventually you will be able to reach the ballroom, exiting through the door where for you, Kipper, you didn't enter through, and Rexmoa, you would have. That's the door that led to like the bathroom area. Once you reach the ballroom again, you would see that everything is pretty much the same. Nothing has really changed. Nobles are still doing their thing. People with money are still just enjoying their own party and their own thing. And the only thing that you don't see, well, you do see is Taurin. She's already just kind of there, vibing. And you would see how Borealis, Zephyr, and obviously Percy nearby are starting to say goodbye to everybody and excusing themselves from the party.
I'm gonna try to look for. Oh, okay. I guess the better idea is to talk to Taurin. I'm gonna still stay invisible, assuming that it hasn't been long enough, more than an hour.
I don't think it's gonna be an hour. I think probably like, yeah, it's probably around there, but not yet.
Probably like 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45-ish minutes.
Okay, yeah. I would try to talk to Taurin while invisible. I'll put like a hand on her shoulder first and just like tell her not to panic. This is important.
Do not panic. Jump scares you halfway to hell.
Yeah.
I know.
Or maybe okay. Yeah, maybe Kipper does it. No, I don't know, but this is like a game of telephone. Actually, it'll be funnier that way.
Well, you can still talk to her. Like you can actually just like talk to her. You just not be. You're just not
scare her
seen.
too much, and like you know, be invisible and like we'd be weird for everyone. All right, I'll just talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Taurin, it's me, Rexmoa. I'm invisible. This is very important. We need to talk to Lady Borealis right now.
At first, she would kind of like glance, going, what? Huh? And go, oh, it's you, Rex. All right.
And Taurin, just so a reminder, you would have been told to leave, to book it.
Right. Then she would go over her shoulder. So, in a whisper tone. About what?
Tell Lady Borealis that there is an imminent danger to her estate, and that if she can contact anyone immediately and tell them to conceal any evidence of her research into the plague or any type of weapon that fights against the infected, like those sun sticks, you need to hide as much as you can. They're about to be visited by what I can only presume is the counselor.
That's not good.
So, if you could possibly pass that along to Rin too, since she might be at the estate already with Ambrose, we need to act quickly, and also tell her that we need to leave as soon as possible.
Got it.
Does Taurin have anything to tell to Rexmoa?
Well, I met Dusan, and
Like you talk to him?
yes, he.
We should talk about this
rather-
later.
Rather inviting. It'll be interesting talk later, indeed.
Your ex adventuring companion was rather inviting.
A little too much so, if you ask me. Just say with a little in her voice.
Mhm.
But we
I
can
hope
talk
you didn't-
later.
I hope you didn't do anything too brash, and I think Rexmoa will just, I guess, like start observing, especially around Lady Borealis. So just make sure to tell her that as soon as you can. I know she's busy, but this is paramount.
That I can do. And then Taurin would lean over towards Borealis.
Oh, Borealis is like, you guys are on like the side of the room. Borealis is just kind of in the center, just kind of already on her way out.
On her way out.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe she'll ring her up in her ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll do that.
You see that she puts her hand on her like keyring and then looks back and then just kind of gestures with her head to just like leave. but doesn't answer the call.
Okay. And Taurin will just nod.
Okay, yeah. And I guess one thing that Rexmoa will do is like he'll, just to make it less suspicious, he's gonna go back to the bathroom and break the invisibility and come back as like a visible lizard.
I believe you cannot break this invisibility unless you're waiting for the remaining time until you're visible again.
Oh.
Just walk out with us.
Because this is not like a spell you can keep concentration and then just remove. This one is just an effect that lasts for this long.
No.
Punch
so I
the
can't,
trash can.
yeah, I can't just like punch the
You
Punch the
can
wall.
yeah, you can just go inside the bathroom, do any attack action or any something that would, break invisibility 100%.
Yeah, I'll do that and I'll return to the ballroom. Just so
Okay.
we can all leave as like a party and it's not suspicious that no one else ever saw me leave.
Yeah, that is all good. And with that, we are going to end the session right there because we don't have a lot more time left. So we will see what happens next. You guys are learning. Good. I hope you guys enjoyed and everything was fun.
I want to see the console again.
Soon, my friend, soon. Alrighty.
My wife grills.
So we're gonna say goodbye to the people watching the VODs on the YouTube channel. Goodbye.
Bye.
And we're gonna go and raid somebody because we are kind of done here. Yes, sir.
Raid 'em.